Hello buddy, Crow here with another question and answer video. I had a question, this was posted a couple weeks ago, but I wanted to make a video separate on this one question that was asked because I may have a tendency to go a little bit long on this one, I think, because there's a lot to be said, I think. This question was asked by Bob Jones, and he says, when you talked about Mortal Kombat in a recent pickup video, it sounds like if there wasn't an XL version released, then you wouldn't have bought it. Yet you say the game is great in your opinion. You said the game is great in your opinion and enjoyed playing it. So my question is, will your downloadable content and patch update snobbery get in the way of you experiencing games that it turns out you would like? Are video games for playing? And if so, why does a patch that take 10 minutes to download bother you to the extent that it does? Do games on PC not have patches? And I think what triggered this question is the fact that I wouldn't have anything to do with Mortal Kombat X unless they released it with all the content intact on a physical disc. And I actually wound up pre-ordering that last year, getting it this year, and then I made a pickup video saying, hey, I like this. And on top of that, I've been saying that I've been getting more and more into playing games on Steam, which are obviously all digital. So there's a little bit of confusion here because, I guess over the past couple months, since last year at least, I've been kind of always been saying, I want the physical copy. I want the physical copy. I want the physical copy. And I didn't really want to have anything to do with digital, except for a few games. To where now all of a sudden I've bought a new laptop explicitly for the plan of downloading digital games and playing them through Steam. And I guess the question there is, why bother doing it on Steam? Why not do it on the PlayStation 4 or anything like that? And I guess I kind of have to take you through my train of thought on this. And I know not everybody's going to agree with me. This is just my opinion where I am right now. But I guess the first question is, why physical disc as opposed to digital? Well, the thing is, and the thing that's really getting to me now is that physical games now are not like they were at all. Physical games in the last 10 years seem to be going in a different direction than physical games in the past. And what I mean by that is games that were physical copies in the past, like NES, Dreamcast, even PlayStation 2. The entire game was on the disc. There was no updating or patching or whatnot needed for that. And I guess I'm going all over the place because I got a lot of things going on in my head right now, and things I want to get out there, and I'm just trying to organize my thoughts. And I guess if you're buying the stuff digitally, it doesn't matter, because when you're buying it digitally, you're not actually buying a physical item. You're basically just buying the right to play the game. You're providing your own storage device, and if you're providing your own storage device, it's okay if they send you updates, because ultimately it doesn't matter. But here's my train of thought: is if you're buying a physical disc, my thought is that you should be buying a complete game. And what I've been seeing more and more over the last 10 years is that we're not getting the complete game on the disc. If a game comes out and you buy it and you pop it in and it instantly has to do an update, well, that tells me that what's on the disc is not the complete game. Now, I understand that in some cases there may have to be minor patches or something, especially if there's an online component to the game. But these days, it doesn't seem like the companies are even trying. I watched a video recently by Guru Larry, and he indicates something in one of his most recent videos that I had no idea. Tony Hawk Pro Skater 5. On the physical disc, if you buy the physical disc, all that's on the physical disc is the training stages. The game isn't even on this disc. It's only the training stuff. You actually have to pop it in and download an 8 gig file to play the game. Which leads me to the question is, what is the point of these physical discs these days? You're going to have the internet connection anyway. So it seems like the digital stuff, even the physical stuff, is digital these days. You pop it in and you're buying a broken game in essence, and they know it. And for some reason, this has become acceptable, and people defend it, saying, "Well, how can you expect them to, fix the game after?" Well, it didn't used to be that way. Over 10 years ago or more, they used to have to finish the game before they printed the disc. But now, I understand there's a lead time that you have to actually, produce the disc before being released. And what they're doing is they're producing the disc way in advance before the game's actually done. And then they're actually finishing the game up. And when it's released digital and physical at the same time. But the physical copy has a lot older code than the version you would just download. So, I mean, if you think about it this way, and why is this a problem? Why do I have a problem with it updating? It's like, well, big deal. You buy the game, it updates. You know what? If you want to sell the game, you can still take the physical game and sell it. And the person who buys it, well, they'll have to update it too. But, yeah, they'll still be able to play a game. Except, I don't think people are thinking far ahead into the future like I am. Let's do a what-if scenario. What if the Dreamcast came out? Now, the Dreamcast was one of the first consoles that had, like, online gameplay, where you could play another person online through the modem that was on the Dreamcast. Now, what if they were really, really far thinking ahead, and they bundled the Dreamcast with a hard drive? And they started doing the things like they're doing now, where you buy a game, you get the game, and you put the game in there, and it says, oh, we're online, we detected there's a patch. And it winds up downloading, and again, this is just a what-if situation. There's no way this would have happened way back in 2000. But let's just say that they're doing things like they're doing now with the Dreamcast. And you pop in your copy of Sonic Adventure or whatnot, and the copy of Sonic Adventure they give you is all broken, which, honestly, some people would argue that it already is. But then they say, oh, there's a patch to fix the game, and you download the patch. Now, fast forward to today's date. Sega isn't supporting the Dreamcast anymore. So, if you were to buy a secondhand copy of Sonic Adventure, and you popped it in your Dreamcast, even if it was connected online, there's no server to connect to, how would you get that update? Now, I'm sure there may be a way that somebody may have figured a way around it, but again, that's more work on your part. You're like, oh, I got the disc, now I have to go find the update, and I might have to mod my Dreamcast, and I might have to pull out the hard drive, plug it in my computer, put the update file on there manually, and I mean, that's a load of hassle, really, as opposed to like any NES game where you could just pop it in and the game starts playing. You don't have to worry about updates, you don't have to worry about different versions of the game getting patched. And DLC content, maybe even content that was ripped out of the what would have been originally part of the game and sold later. You don't have to worry about that kind of stuff. Now, like, even with games like Smash Brothers on the Wii U, even though I think they did the additional DLC characters correctly, where they actually finished the game, released it, and then later on released more and more characters over the year. Again, what happens when Nintendo stops supporting the Wii U entirely? What happens when, maybe 20 years in the future, you're like, oh, you know what, let me pop in that old game, Super Smash Brothers, or let me, somebody coming to the hobby is new, and they're saying, oh, I got this copy of Super Smash Brothers, and they pop it in, but they're not able to ever, even if they have the money and they want to buy it, they're not able to purchase that downloadable content and actually see all the characters, and able to see Ryu, or Bayonetta, or I don't know, whoever else was added, Lucas or whatnot. I don't know who else was purchasable. But that's the problem I have every time I pop in a disc and I see it has to update. It's not because I have to wait for it to update. It's almost not even the issue of the game taking up space, which, by the way, is ridiculous. That the PS4, I'm getting a 500 gig hard drive with that PS4. And after owning about 20 games, that hard drive is nearly full with downloadable, updates and patches, and just every game wanting to install to the hard drive. and you need to upgrade your PS. You will have to upgrade your hard drive in your PS4. I mean, these are things that didn't have to deal with consoles, and that's where I'm seeing from that point of view. So around the the beginning of the year, I'm thinking, well, you know what? It really seems like there's no way around this digital content. Every game I buy that's physical, I pop it in, and it's got to update. And when that means when it's updating, that means that sometime in the future, that game, whenever Sony stops supporting the PS4 or even the PS3, and by the way, I know that Microsoft has stopped producing Xbox 360s, but the Xbox 360 is not dead because they're still supporting it. I know when that news came out, everybody was like, oh, the Xbox 360 is dead. Well, it's not. They're still supporting it. You can still go online to the store and buy digital content and stuff for the Xbox 360. But what happens when they stop supporting the Xbox 360? You buy a used game for the Xbox 360, pop it in, it'll be unable to patch. You'll have to play it in the broken state that they released it in. And I know people have been saying this, and I don't think that, I think a lot of people are just ignoring what people have been saying. Some people are like, oh, who cares, but eventually, I think that there'll come a time where when that actually happens, there'll be a big uproar, like, oh my goodness, I can't play my games anymore, or I can't buy a used game and plug it in and have it be updated, or I can't even buy the additional DLC content that was originally intended for the game. Now, some people might be saying, well, you know what? All you have to do is back up the hard drive. Yeah, but that's more work on my end. I've got when the Xbox 360 servers go offline, I'm sure some people will be like, well, now I got to fill up hard drive space, hard drive after hard drive of all this downloadable content just so I can preserve it. And that's more work than just having it on PC. And I'll get to that in a minute. But yeah, that is my problem with physical discs having updates and stuff. That just tells me that what was on the disc is not the complete version of the game, and that's why now I'm waiting for, like when Mortal Kombat X was released, and right off the bat, before the game was even out, they're like, oh, there's going to be DLC content here, here, and here, and here. I'm like, well, that's fine, and then I'm not going to buy it until all that content is released on one disc, and that's exactly what they did. And yes, I found it fun. And now the question, will there be other games that I miss? Maybe I think there's a game that's super fun, and I completely miss out on it because I didn't want to support this this thing where games are not complete on the disc. Yeah, I'm sure there will be, but here's the thing: is I'm sure there's games all over the place that I'm missing that I'm sure are fun because I don't own the system or something. I mean, I had a Commodore 64 back in the day. I went from that to a Nintendo. I never had like an Atari ST or Amiga, and yet I know there's probably games on there that I thought was fun and I missed out on just because I didn't have the system. So I don't want to support. I really don't want to support anymore buying a disc and having it. All the stuff be updated like that. That's just encouraging them to do that, and it's worth it to me. I mean, sure, I may be missing out on a fun game, but I got tons of other fun games to play. What am I really missing out on? So yeah, but now here's the other question is, if I've got a problem with the physical games these days, why not just do digital on the PS4? I mean, after all, it's why switch to the PC if they're exactly the same? They've got patches, and yes, there's patches on the PC and everything. But here's the thing: the example I gave earlier with Sega and the Dreamcast. If they did that with the Dreamcast and Sega's out of the hardware business now, who's to say that Sony won't do exactly the same thing with the PS3 or PS4? Maybe the PS5, maybe they do come out with a PS5. I don't know, maybe 5 years down the line, Sony decides, hey, you know what, not too many people have the PS3 anymore. Let's just cut all our services for that. Well, now the people that have a PS3, maybe you buy a used PS3 game. Now that can't get updated. Same thing with Microsoft and the Xbox 360. No more, buying Xbox 360 games, whatnot. You're stuck with what you have. No more updating, no more patches. That's exactly what I'm talking about. Again, the same thing could happen on PC with Steam, where Steam, Valve goes out of business and takes down Steam someday in the future. But honestly, I think that is a long ways further off than that happening with the PS3, PS4. And I mean, I'm just placing my bets on the PC is what I'm saying. I'm not saying that the PC, the games on the PC will last forever, because they may not. But my bets are that they will last longer on the PC than they will on the PS4 and Xbox 360. And even if they don't, I have a feeling that there will be a way, through just, people on the internet saying, oh, you know what, I know that Valve's not supporting this anymore. We'll maintain a server, and you'll be able to get all your stuff that you already had, still play your games or whatnot. That's the other thing, is like Rocket League. I watched a video, somebody mentioned this earlier. Rocket League was a PS Plus game for free. Now, but I say free, I mean free, because you only got to keep that game as long as you kept paying the $60 per year for PlayStation Plus. I think that maybe some games on the PlayStation 4 you had to pay for PlayStation Plus to even play them online, is from what I understand. And I think Rocket League may have been one of those games where not only do you pay for the game, but you have to keep paying for PlayStation Plus to be able to play it. Well, that game's now costing you $60 a year, whereas on Steam, I bought the game on sale for like $10, and it's mine. I mean, there's downloadable content that I could purchase separately, but I haven't done that yet. It's really not even necessary. It's more stuff like skins and different cars and stuff, which really don't even affect performance or whatnot. But I just feel also that the games on Steam and possibly good old games, I'm not the good old games yet. I mean, that's another avenue for me to take, even on a PC. But I'm just going to talk from a Steam point of view. But there's deals all the time. The layout, the finding these digital games is way better than anything that I've seen on the PlayStation 3, PlayStation 4, or the Xbox 360. Can't speak about the Xbox One because I've not really seen that in action. But it's easy, so intuitive. Just find what you're looking for. You know what? If the price is too high, add it to your wish list. If it goes down in price, or if there's a sale, you get notified. I don't know if there's anything like that on the PS4. I've already, since the beginning of the year, probably bought 100 games on Steam, and I'm not the type of person that buys games at $20. I think that's too much for most games. Obviously, I make an exception for the Pinball Arcade, but a lot of the games and DLC are just a few bucks each. And even if I see a game for $5 and I'm like, I don't know if I really want that, add it to the wish list. Eventually, there's gonna be a sale. I'll get it for 25, 50% off, maybe even 75% off. I only pay. There's been some games on there that were originally like $10 that I paid less than $1 for because of a sale. And that's why I have so many games. I may have gone overboard on some of them. I don't know if I'm gonna be able to play all those games, but they're there. And if I pop open my computer and I'm like, I feel like playing a game, what do I want to play? I just scroll through the list. Oh, look, there's a game I haven't played yet. Click on that. Not only that, but I don't have an issue with controllers with the PC. Now, granted, it kind of leans heavily towards the Xbox 360 controller, but playing with the PlayStation 4 controllers, no problem. Downloaded a program. I think it was called DS4 Windows. Installed that. Now it thinks that my PlayStation 4 controller is an Xbox 360 controller. Not only that, but I can play with it with normal Bluetooth. I don't even need the dongle. On top of that, I've got PCs everywhere. I got a PC here, I got a PC here, I got a PC at work, and you know what? I can load Steam on any of those and play any of the games at any time. If I'm on the same network, I could actually, since that laptop's more powerful than this computer, I could just stream the game from that lap to this computer. I just think that my whole point is, why PC instead of a console? And I think that it's just a better investment. Now, it's not going to last forever, I don't think. I don't think it'll last forever on the consoles, but I think it'll last a lot longer on PC than it will on the consoles. And that's why I'm switching over to the PC when it comes to digital content. What I'm hoping to do is buy no more digital purchases at all on console. So, I think I answered all the questions. I went on for quite a while, as I thought I might have. 20 minutes, it's actually not as long as I felt like I went going on. And I think I covered everything that I wanted to do. Just to reiterate, let's go over the question again. When you talked about Mortal Kombat, it sounds like if there was an XL version released, you wouldn't have bought it. That's right, I wouldn't have bought it. I got plenty of other games to play, and I don't need to buy another incomplete game. That's on a physical media. Now, I could have downloaded it, but again, I'm not paying $60 for downloadable content. I'm not even going to do that on Steam. That seems ridiculous to me. It may be a special occasion where I want to do that, but that has not happened yet. And aside from the Pinball Arcade, I have not paid more than $20 for any digital content. In fact, that $20, I think one was probably just that was something that was already on sale. It was like half price. It was, in fact, I think that was a whole collection of games too. I think that was like not just one game. I think that was a bundle of games for $20, where it normally would have cost $120. So, yeah. My question is, downloadable catch of a patch snobbery get in the way of experiencing games that it turns out you would like? I'd say yes. But does it really matter? I mean, I got lots of other games to play. Are video games for playing, and if so, why does the patch take? And again, I guess that's a question directed towards, well, why does the physical copy even matter? Isn't it just playing the game that matters? And you got to remember, I'm coming from a generation that since the late 70s, and well, for me personally, the mid 80s onward, have been buying games myself since I was a kid, and I'm just used to having that game, having the artwork and everything. It's just, for somebody who may be in their 20s and have never bought a physical copy of anything, I don't know how to explain it. I could look at my shelves and, you know, reminisce. It's like, oh yeah, I played that game, that was great. I can't do that with digital content unless maybe I scroll through the list on Steam and say, oh yeah, I remember playing that game. But it's different when you're looking at the box. You know, I don't know if I could put it any other way. It's something I think that people of a certain age will get, and people of another age won't get. And again, the patch taking 10 minutes to bother. It's not the time it takes to patch it. It's not even the space the patch takes up on the hard drive. It's the fact that in the future, these games won't be able to patch. And there goes your second-hand market for these games. And maybe even if somebody's trying to... I mean, it's possible that somebody somewhere will be able to save all these patches somewhere. And there'll be someplace on the internet we could say, okay, yeah, I have, I don't know, Smash Brothers on the Wii U. Let's see, here are all the patches, and there's going to be some way to install these on an old system. There's probably going to be a way to do that, but really that's a lot of hoops to jump through for a hobby that used to be just plug in the cartridge and play it, or plug in the disc and play it. And do games on PC not have patches? Yes, but that's not really the whole point of this. Anyway, let's call it video. My throat is really tickling me. I need a drink, but let's end it. I do have a I knew I was going to cough. I was trying not to cough, but I do have another video coming up, which is all the rest of the questions that people ask. Well, most of them. I'm obviously not going to answer all of them. But you know what? If you are interested in seeing... I don't know how interesting this would be, but if you're interested in seeing what my collection is on Steam, just let me know. I'll make a quick video, run through them. I don't know how quick a video will be with over 100 games, but a lot of them I haven't even played yet. I just bought them because they were super cheap, and I was like, oh yeah, I could see myself playing that one day. But anyway, let's leave it at that. Let me know if you are interested in that. See you all next time. Bye.